Hey guys, welcome back to the Cool Classic Kids Show. And something just popped off that I've been waiting to happen for quite a while now. It was the elephant in the room, have you? And this happens to be all around the time where unfortunately my PC is out of commission in terms of for gaming purposes, which I will have fixed very soon. But gives me more time to talk about the crazy ass stuff in the world of the gaming space. And honestly, now, I have to look at the community that I generally belong to, which is the community that is very critical of the gaming landscape, of companies, of developers, of mega corporations, of suits and ties, of these dick eaters in the gaming community. Yeah, I have to look at my own community now because the elephant in the room has been a lot of these very overtly religious zealots that reside in our community that have been grifting, absolutely grifting off of talking about games and pretending to be a part of the gaming culture as we see it. For a long time, I've watched these wolves in sheep's clothing masquerade in our community, pretending to be a part of gamers, but really they're just a bunch of frauds. And I've always stood for artistic freedom in pretty much every artistic space, man. Obviously, there are some, obviously extreme, there's rules for extreme situations, but I generally feel as though art should be as hands off as little censored as possible. I want the true interpretation of the artists behind all of these works that I'm interested in. But that isn't for everybody in the gaming community, unfortunately. And now it seems as though we have to actually assess our own community. I'm so excited for it. I've been waiting for this moment, and it is now being how do you say it? It's being coined GOONERGATE. And who better to discuss the situation being GOONERGATE than, what I've been coined as from my community, which I reject, mind you, but I've been coined by my community as the, furry what I can't even think of it all. The furry goon tomboy queen? The goon queen? Furry tomboy goon queen? Yeah, something along those lines. So I think I'm very qualified to talk about GOONERGATE because it has just popped off and I cannot wait to get into it. Without further ado, let's jump into an article on Smash JT's website, and it is titled "A New Challenger Appears: Religion. GOONERGATE Explained." And this was a long time coming because I've had a vendetta against not everyone we're going to talk about here. Actually, a person I'm kind of surprised about, but a few people on this list in terms of I clearly know that they're not about, artistic freedom in video games. I could tell. I knew this was coming, and I'm glad that it's happening sooner rather than later, but we have to also talk about why it's happening. And Smash JT goes on to say, just when you thought we were winning this war in regards to, woke ideology, he's mostly referring to, because it is indeed about to be on its deathbed. And there's a reason why, well, these religious zealots are now making their move, clearly, based upon that. Those of us buried in the sands of internet time know that the gaming industry has been no stranger to cultural battles. And for years now, the community has fought back hard to preserve the creative freedom that made gaming a groundbreaking artistic and entertainment medium. But just when the tide seemed to be turning, when woke games pushing divisive ideologies took a massive loss after massive losses, and gamers rallied together to celebrate freedom of choice in gaming, a seemingly new faction emerges to try and take the reins. The religious side, the religious zealots, determined to play moral arbiter over what the community should and should not be allowed to enjoy. And it was sparked by this fucking picture right here, all right? Essentially, a woman in a very, very covering, all right, when you really think about it, a very covered bikini style outfit. Not even that, it's a one piece. Okay, so this is literally what sparked a massive culture battle within our community. This fucking image of all things, hilarious. And Smash goes on to say, sound familiar? And Smash got into a little bit of a back and forth with some of the people in this community, a lot of which I do not fuck with. But Smash JT said, when you are becoming exactly what you are fighting against, you are no better than those you are trying to stop. And then this dude, who I have huge issue with, I went on for a long time to not promote his content because at one point, I clearly knew exactly what John F. Trent was all about. I knew he wasn't a gamer. I know he doesn't care about the entertainment space. This dude, for years, he writes articles. All right, he's written for Bounding into Comics and turned it into Bounding into Bibles. Completely fucked up that website in regards to, well, the interest for content creators to use them as reference when discussing certain topics. And then he went on to That Park Place. As you guys know, I don't really use That Park Place when discussing video games and just general entertainment news. And now he has gone on to work with the other retard known as John De La Rose at the Phantom Pulse, in which I will not ever be referencing any of these clowns' articles. But yes, that's John F. Trent. He is a religious zealot, a wolf in sheep's clothing in the anti-woke community. But he says woke ideologies and Christian morals are not the same thing. And it's hilarious. It's hilarious because woke ideologies, the people that push woke ideologies, what they are pushing is their own idea of they're the moral arbiters, all right? And it's the same thing with Christian morals, as he's saying. Christians that are overtly religious zealots, and mind you guys, I have no issue with religion, okay? I absolutely respect and will defend your right to your religion as long as it doesn't impede on my entertainment or my general freedoms. I have no problem with you having your own personal religion. But we have religious zealots like this clown right here, who has essentially the same exact reasoning for pushing his essentially theistic, theistic zealotry, all right? Whereas woke ideology, that's non-theistic zealotry. He thinks that somehow it's different. The only difference is one is theistic and one is non-theistic. You guys still believe you're somehow morally correct in pushing your desires to push censorship and pushing what you think is morally correct on everyone else. But he says woke ideologies and Christian morals are not the same thing. And Kilted Cajun here says wrong. Both want to push their own ideologies on people who may not necessarily be interested in them. And John F. Trent says, weird you wrote wrong and then agreed they are different by noting their own ideologies, albeit Christianity is not an ideology. And it's like, at the end of the day, Christians always like try to omit like zealots, really. And I don't want to reference zealots because I don't want to disrespect people of religious background. Like I said, I respect you guys, but zealots will always try to force their ideology or religion to make it into something else different and make it sound nicer. But Cajun here says, an ideology is a system of ideas or ideals, which is what all religions are. You think because one is the word of God that makes it different, makes it special. And yes, zealots like John F. Trent absolutely believe that and think, and this is how they try to morally justify their authoritarian pig ideology. And Smash JT here says, while I morally typically tend to lean into the moral values of religion far more than that of wokeism, I'm by no stretch a very religious person. There is value in it. The problem going too far with any ideology historically always seems to end up the same exact place. Enter GOONERGATE. The latest controversy centers around content creator Dread Roberts on X, whose critiques I've typically always respected ever since I first heard of them a few months ago. But one has seemingly gone off the deep end with his take here. And honestly, I've had zero issues with Dread Roberts. I think that he was a decent content creator. He was quite entertaining, and he did do a good job of covering Gamergate 2 news. I had no issues with it. He made it very, very clear that he was a Christian, and I respect that. The thing is, as long as you can separate religion from general entertainment, and I don't understand, if you take your religion seriously, I don't know why you'd want to mix up the two, but as long as you have that separation, then I don't have an issue with you. But if you use your religion to justify your authoritarian edict, I guess you could say, or just what you think everyone should be subservient to in regards to entertainment, that's when I have a problem with you. But Pirate Nation here tweeted, "Is this what gamers want?" And I say, in comparison to some of these other nasty ass characters like Mega Jaws Watson from Spider-Man 2, or pretty much all of the women in Mortal Kombat 1, you know what? Sure, absolutely. It's better than the alternative. It all began when Pirate Nation showed a gif of Haley, the protagonist from game The First Descendant, showing off her, well, scantily clad figure, we'll just say, with a cheeky animation. Sorry, I had to. Pirate Nation simply captioned it, "Is this what gamers want?" A fair question, at least, or so I thought on the surface. Then we have Meddling Mac here says, "Not me. I like attractive characters, but I don't want to play something with naked butts, boobs, or bulges up in my face. I'd feel like a total loser playing something like that." This is crazy coming from Melanie Mac of all people. We're going to get into these content creators, man, because they are almost doing a fucking 180. All right, from just a few short months ago. And Digix here says, "What happened to you were not an anti-progressive person? In the end, these liars' faces are being raised. I thought you didn't like censorship since you fought about it for a long time. One more disappointment of these characters just create wars among yourselves." And Melanie goes on to say, "I'm a Christian. I oppose making female characters look ugly or masculine or changing their body types. I don't advocate for weird gooner games, though." Do you, Melanie? Do you? Because that's interesting. Go to Melanie Mac's YouTube channel. And I don't know if you guys recall Stellar Blade came out earlier this year, right? Stellar Blade, there's a lot of choice outfits for the main protagonist, Eve. There's tons of outfits. Some, she's quite dressed up, pretty much covered mostly. And then there's others that's like, okay, she's putting it almost entirely out there. Matter of fact, the one outfit that you definitely get in the game that is essentially the hard mode outfit is where she's almost practically entirely naked. Matter of fact, a lot of people who were streaming the game ended up getting warnings, I guess, or whatever have you, like from YouTube, because she was so unclothed that it was damn near like YouTube was recognizing it as nudity. I didn't get claimed, thankfully, but like I didn't get warned by YouTube or anything, but that is how close to being outright nude Eve was in the game. I mean, in the very beginning, when she's first introduced with that outfit, because you could play it from the beginning of the game, because that outfit is essentially the hard mode outfit. Practically naked, bro. But look at Melanie Mac, someone who doesn't play Gooner games or support Gooner games, sure did happen to make quite a few videos, mind you, of Stellar Blade. I guess it was cool to be into Gooner games, all right, as the Goon Queen will say. Gooner games when the grift was good, right? But now all of a sudden, now it's a problem? Interesting. But to continue back, Said, however, things quickly spiraled when John F. Trent, Melanie Mack, and Dred Roberts, among many others seemingly strong religious folks, responded, launching into quite the tirade against the community at large. While I respect and get along with all of these folks on a daily basis, just like them, we're all entitled to our opinions on the situation. Up until it involves wanting censorship. But anyway, Dred Roberts tweets out, any person with a modicum of decency would say no. Oh man, this is not where the future of gaming should be headed. The constant promotion of half-naked women as the greener side of gaming is getting ridiculous. And I'm beginning to think that these people who say they want to save gaming don't actually want to save it. So many claim to care about morals and future generations and not giving even an inch of progress to devs who push woke ideologies or whatever else, but then they'll turn around and tell young men and women to support titles and throw this stuff in your face. Most of what I've seen for months now from these accounts are butt cheeks and cleavage. Seriously, how is this making gaming better? All we're doing is pushing normies in the same direction, but on a parallel track. People may argue we just want to push back on ugly women agenda, just trying to make a point to lefty weirdos. Okay, so where do we draw the line then? Because there doesn't appear to be one. This is why I say that we need real adults with real ambitions and a mature outlook on the future to lead the charge in the industry. People who have their priorities straight and their arousal in check. Oh my God, bro. It's crazy because it's like, dude, I completely support you raising your children how you want to. I don't want to get involved in that. So why the fuck are you trying to get involved with adults and the entertainment that they choose to consume? We're not your fucking kids, bro. And just because people play these types of games doesn't necessarily mean they're sitting there fucking gooning to it all day, brother. I support all these games. And I don't even play I haven't even played the first Descendant. I think I played the beta, but I never actually played the game. I still totally support gamers wanting to play these games. The first Descendant gives gamers what they want, and not even for gooning purposes. It's just that, hey, people want to look at characters that actually look nice. And to sit here and act like this is like serious gooner material is absolutely fucking insane, especially when even you yourself, Dred Roberts, just like Melanie Mack, made that Stellar Blade content, which is perceived as gooner material. You were fighting the very same group of people that were also saying the same thing early on about Stellar Blade, calling the gaming community a bunch of you know, all sorts of words, chuds, gooners, whatever have you. It's crazy how y'all just did a whole 180, man. No consistency at all. And we're going to hold you to this consistency, especially when you're out here trying to force people to feel some sort of shame for wanting to play a game with pretty female characters in it that have nice outfits that aren't even that crazy. Come on, bro. Come on. It's a strong statement. Smash says, is a strong statement, but it crosses a line and blurs the issue. While his points might resonate with some folks out there, and a few I've seen applauding, the community at large wasn't the biggest fan of his take. This kind of moral grandstanding comes across as super condescending and ultimately mirrors the same exact behavior of those he supposedly was claiming to oppose. And that is the thing, man, more than anything else. You guys were totally acting a whole other way before. And mind you guys, I think it's fair to say when it comes to all of this stuff, the ESRB exists for a reason. All right? People that are 17 and younger should not be playing these games to begin with. They're targeted at adults. Okay, so to sit here and pretend that, oh, children are playing these games, when really, if that's the case, some of you guys, you parents out here, should have, you guys have issues, all right? But the reality is, gamers of all ages are out here, and nobody, just because there's kids that are gamers doesn't mean that, well, adults shouldn't be allowed to get the type of content that they want. And not for nothing, you should be respecting the ESRB, even though personally I don't respect the ESRB. But the reality is, the ESRB is more bitch made than ever. Two perfect examples of this is the Tomb Raider trilogy that just released, I believe, early this year, if I'm not mistaken, really early this year. The remasters of the first 3 Tomb Raider games. Really good remasters, mind you. But this remaster received an M rating. And if you guys refer to the original 3 copies of the original Tomb Raider games, they're all rated T for teen. So therefore, at some point back in the day, up until now, the ESRB has clearly become more strict with their rules and guidelines. Another example of the fact the ESRB has become more bitch-made than ever before would be Dragon Quest III Remake, in which the developers actually had to censor some of the art in the game simply because they wanted the game to receive the same E rating that the original Dragon Quest III received. So therefore, yet another example of the ESRB becoming more bitch-made. So at this point, really the only issue that you have is that you do want to morally grandstand. And me, as an adult gamer, I have a fucking problem with this. They said gaming is not about morality police. Smash says, gaming is about escapism, creativity, and enjoyment. It thrives when developers are free to create art that connects with players, whether it's gritty horror, stylized violence, or even characters designed to appeal to more primal sensibilities. At times, someone comes to the game industry advocating to be the adult in the room, always seems to have ulterior motives. And yeah, at the end of the day, where does the line stop? Are we not going to be able to kill zombies because it's immoral? Are we not going to be able to run around and terrorize in Grand Theft Auto because it's immoral? I mean, we do, like, millions of heinous, immoral acts are committed in video games every day. Where the fuck does the line stop with you people? This morality policing bullshit is just that, bullshit. The gaming diversity of content is a strength and variety. Yet, when individuals like Dread Roberts step up and try to dictate what adults should find acceptable, they ironically echo the woke voices they so passionately decry. Absolutely. And the fact that the whole, woke ideology shit is really on, hopefully, its last legs, this is all a fucking power move at this point. I guess these grifters gotta find a new grift, even if it means turning against their own community. I call him out on a hypocrisy in a reply. This is Smash JT's tweet. He says, when you are becoming exactly what you are fighting against, you are no better than those you are trying to stop. His response, a bizarre personal attack on my family and a justification of his moral high ground. Oh my god. You gotta be fucking kidding me with this. And Dread Roberts says, Smash, who is apparently a married man with children of his own, seems to think that another married man with children of his own setting boundaries and having morals and values is becoming exactly what you're fighting against. Hilarious. I've been fighting against DEI relentlessly and was one of the very first people to defend him when Mercante was going after his wife. Oh well, lessons learned, I guess. And the thing is, Dread Roberts, you changed. Nobody else has changed here between you and Smash other than you yourself. If you want to change your morals, okay, because clearly your morals weren't there when you were making Stellar Blade content for that lucrative ad revenue and the lucrative growing your channel and whatnot. But he continues, incredible how my call for not taking things too extreme, just to own the other side, has shaken people to the core so hard that their brains have snapped in two. It's hard to believe, really. And it says more about you when you have to demand for censorship. Because really, at the end of the day, it just goes to show that perhaps you're just not a good parent. I'm sure that Smash JT doesn't allow his children to play M-rated games. All right? I'm sure that Smash JT is involved in his kid's life. And I don't know how many kids he has. Shout out to him for having children. I'm sure that he's very involved in his children's life. And make sure that they're watching surely age-appropriate things, because that is what a responsible parent does. They don't have to demand censorship across the entire landscape in order to do good parenting. And Smash here says, let me make this clear. Gaming is not about setting moral boundaries with others. It is about empowering the you to decide what you enjoy. I replied. And Smash says, weird take, but whatever. In my honest opinion, gaming is not about morals and setting boundaries. It's about escapism and enjoyment. If a game comes out and isn't for you, don't support it. That's your right as a customer. What you are doing here with this stance is purposely antagonizing people fighting against censorship for a reaction. I will always call for less regulation in an artistic space, not more. Telling developers how they should be able to make a game and how they shouldn't makes you no better than the challenges we are facing right now. And this is 100% facts. Bro, Smash JT spitting facts, man. He said, if a game isn't for you, don't buy it. If a piece of art offends you, your sensibilities, just walk away. But telling developers what they should and shouldn't do, nah, bro, that puts you in the same slippery slope as the forces of censorship we've been battling for years. And it's facts. You are, just because you think that your theistic religion in your mind is more justifiable than the non-theistic religion we've been fighting against all this time that is infected gaming as well as other forms of entertainment, you are no better. You have the same moralistic fucking justifications for your fuckery. And even for Tanga here steps in, he said he's right. Video games will never be for the religious purists. They are on the same side of the woke fence that wants to censor gaming. And clearly we draw the line. The gamers clearly draw the fucking line. You can go inside with this pro-censorship side, but people ain't gonna go for this shit, bro. It is what it is. The problem with drawing the line, when Dread Rabbits tried to equate drawing a line against revealing outfits with stopping a tide of nudity in gaming, I pressed further. Smash says, Dread Roberts here had said drawing a line with posting constant nudity, and Smash said, curious about these squiggly lines and morality you keep drawing here. How do you feel about horror games with chainsaws and gore, or for FPS with piles of bodies being stacked? Apparently, those are cool with your adult beliefs, but hot girls, get them out. I'm desperately trying to keep up with the lack of logic and moral grandstanding, but you're losing me. And this is exactly what I've been talking about. Guys, I've been saying, like, all these immoral things happen in games every single day by the millions, maybe even more than that, who knows. Where is the line, bro? No response. Silence speaks volumes. Yeah, because I mean, Dread Roberts, he tried to take a stand in this situation, but there is no reasonable justification for being a religious zealot that is pushing their authoritarian fucking edict on art. Savvy says he's going out of his way to ignore the criticism of his language choice, and it's really obnoxious. He can dislike something, but using morality language and trying to speak for more than himself based on arbitrary moral appointment to try and shield himself from disagreement is where people are upset. Otherwise, perhaps, I'll use his language against him and call him indecent for liking games depicting murder. Oof. Big yikes. Savvy with the heat. And obviously Smash agrees. And Smash is going in. Apparently he was saying that somebody was really upset by this literally the equation, what equates to a dad joke, just because the Pope is involved in the meme. But that's kind of what we're going into when it comes to GOONERGATE. And just because we brought up John F. Trent, guys, if you look at that Park Place, which was where John F. Trent had previously worked. I mean, we see John F. Trent here talking about Stellar Blade, Stellar Blade, Stellar Blade, Stellar Blade, Stellar Blade, Stellar Blade, Stellar Blade. All John F. Trent, by the way. Stellar Blade, John F. Trent. Stellar Blade. Like, holy shit. This dude has talked so much about Stellar Blade. But guys, it doesn't end there. You know why? Because he also has a fucking YouTube channel. And guess what? If you search Stellar Blade for his YouTube videos, oh, look at that. Oh, the grift was good back then, right, bro? What happened? ¿Qué pasó? Apparently now you don't like Stellar Blade anymore enough to defend it. What happened? What happened, John F. Trent? You fucking clown. Guys, I bring this up because it's really important. All right? The reality is, woke ideology, all this bullshit in gaming is coming to an end. And it seems as though the people that have assisted us in fighting back are now trying to stab us all in the back, man, with being pro-censorship, the stuff that we've been fighting for a while now. Just because you have different justifications for pushing your censorship, for pushing your idea of morality on others, even though clearly you've shown that you do not have actual morality or integrity, because the grift was good for these games that you're now suddenly against. But hey, man, I'm glad we could bring up the hypocrisy and address it and nip this in the bud, because we're not going to stand for this shit. As the apparent goon queen, as some of my viewers have sadly named me, I will embrace it and fight back, being a part of GOONERGATE. And I don't care. I don't even play some of these games that you guys are apparently gooning for or whatever. But I still support the developers' right to make these games. The ESRB has already tightened its clutches enough. We do not need moralistic losers in the gaming community that apparently think that their parenting isn't enough and require game developers and game companies to now censor in order to protect their children. Yeah, we don't care about what you have to say. And we're not going to stand for the bullshit, because you are absolutely no better than people demanding censorship for the sake of their non-theistic bullshit-ass religion that they've been pushing on us for the past fucking decade. But yeah, guys, this really pisses me off, because I've seen this play coming for a long time, and I've called out assholes like John F. Trent for a while, as well as someone named John De La Roast, that loser. I've been calling these guys out for a while, and I'm glad that now the focal point of this issue that I've seen growing, it's now become the focal point. It's now in the light, all right? And that's what's great. We could shine the light on this absolute fucking hypocrisy and address it and nip it in the bud early. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about this situation in the comment section down below. Once again, no disrespect to anybody's religion out here. I'm not here to tell you what to believe in and what not to believe in. I absolutely respect everyone's right to their religious beliefs. Just don't fucking tread on me. All right, don't tread on gaming. And I have no issue with you. Yeah, guys, if you can, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Follow me over on Twitter at Mario Kart if you want to continue the conversation. We will be streaming the Game Awards this Thursday, 8 p.m. EST. It is going to be hilarious. We're going to make fun of these losers. And hopefully, baby, we get some Mafia, the old country gameplay. That's what I'm hoping for. And also to see some other cool stuff. Then this Friday, we will be doing the Twilight Zone of Gaming live stream. It's usually on Thursdays, but since the Game Awards is Thursdays, I'm moving it to Friday. So definitely tune in and come hang out with me then. And yeah, guys, consider becoming a channel member. Get you instant access to the Discord. And with all that being said, guys, I'm out. Peace.